Welcome to Torta Thursdays. Oh, just kidding. It's unspiced and unfiltered, your favorite white boys out here talking ball on a Wednesday. Let's get into it. Young
Hell yeah.
Sus. Skirt. What's up? What's up, brother? How you been? How was your best ball season? How is life? Let the people know.
I'm doing a little better now that funky intro music played. That got me in a mood. I'm usually going cold and I just start talking about Tank Bigsby and it's boring. That got me fired up. Let's go. My best ball season went as well as it could for having a below average advantage, but got a couple teams to the big board finals, clawed back some capital. That's really all you can ask for and what I would consider for myself a down year. How about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't doing any drafting by myself. It was all on stream with the fellas, but you know what? I don't think it was a good year for my takes. I'm going to be completely honest. Like there's a couple, there's a couple. Pickens was one of my guys, but I was a big anti JSN guy, so that definitely did not play out the way that I was expecting. But you know what? That's each year, another best ball cabal member won. So, someone outside of the ship chasing universe is going to break the couple year streak. So hopefully, it's one of the torta pounders in our chat. I think that will be quite fun for everyone once that happens. So
we're due.
But yeah, man, let's say hi to the chat really quick. We got the homie Tyler in here. Let's go. Unfiltered. Yeah, I mean, we're never filtered. We're ripping cigs without the filter in here. We got Best Ball on call. We got Fantasy Monster, which I think is I can't remember his name, but it's one of the chat regulars. And then we got Brett Jones says Kyle Pitts ruined 2025 Best Ball. I hate that Sherman won $2 million. She seems like a condescending douche like Karain. I'm not doing as many 2026 drafts, only mid-content. I will push back against that. I think Sam is a cool guy. I will say myself. That, yeah, what the fuck? It's been too long. It's been too long.
Brett, how many drafts would you do if Sherman didn't win? Put down below in the comments.
He went from 5 to 2.
It's a damn shame.
So Sus, before we get into the football talk, you said you're moving, I'm moving. It's, life is in flux right now. How are you feeling overall? How are the vibes for young Sus at this point in time? And how are we taking those vibes from the 2025 season and pushing that and, bettering ourselves into 2026?
Look, the vibes actually have not been better. I actually made myself touch grass, made myself talk to one woman, only one, not more than that. So life's okay. A little balance. Turns out balance can actually help your mental health. But yeah, moving out, getting a little closer to downtown St. Petersburg. Had to get out of a home that convinced me that 44% Raheem Mostert and 30-something% Amari Cooper was a good idea. It's just we gotta not even lighting any incense or anything is gonna clear the vibe. We just gotta move on, fresh slate. But I'm looking forward to the move, new chapters, new beginnings. So, but off to a good start this year. How about you, man?
Yeah, amen, brother. Same vibes here. We're becoming our true selves in 2026. We're finally going to draft some running backs after all these years. And yeah, man, no, I'm excited. Moving into a new place here at the end of the month. So same as you, new year, new bindles, and we are going to be going heavy in the streaming streets again. So happy to start it off with you here, sir.
Love it, man. It's a joy. Best ball, big board is right around the corner. Are you going to hop right into it on day one, just thinking about it? Are you already thinking about it? Or are you like, I'm going to, maybe enjoy my winter also a little bit,
You know what? I think I already kind of took an planned break from check. Like I'm usually super locked in. Like I'm into Dynasty, like I'm into obviously best ball and all the content and everything. And I kind of haven't been the last few months. So I feel like I'm kind of revitalized. Like I'm ready to dive in right now. Like if Big Board was dropped right now, I would be into it. So
we'd be ready.
Definitely like today we'll be kind of talking about kind of 2025 season takeaways, and then how do we apply that moving forward, and just kind of vibe out as well, and just talk through guys we're into, guys we're not. But yeah, man, no, I'm all in. I'm all in. It's gonna be, we're gonna go back to the hot best ball summer of 2023 where it all started, and have a lot of fun times with the fellas.
Hell yeah. Love
it. Yes. Yes. We're supposed to get like, I don't know how much snow, but it's supposed to be like 0 degrees and a big ass snowstorm right now here. So got to go into the office, but office is only 5 minutes away. So we're vibing.
I don't miss that, man. As a Philly guy originally, the seasonal depression, the getting blasted with snow, I was back home for Christmas and I'm shoveling ice out of the driveway for a parent. It's no good. It's no good.
You know what, man? It's been bad, but I think best ball will get me through it. That's what we have. Only things that we have in life are speaking to one woman and best ball. Those are the only things that are keeping us alive as men today in 2026. So yeah, we're doing
we
good.
Push onward.
So why don't we get started here and start going through, we can talk through some position groups here. Let me just, I'm a little rusty, I will say.
Oh, it's all good. I couldn't even host if I tried right now. Couldn't imagine clicking buttons.
Yeah, and I don't have my mouse, which is kind of fucked up, but
all good.
So yeah, kind of the defining players of the 2025 best ball season. We had obviously CMC, another year older, but still, it was mostly the receiving work that kind of kept him just like cooking. But 49ers, when they have health at all, then it's a pretty exciting fantasy machine there. We got our boy Pookie absolutely killing it, especially at the end of the season with Devontae out. JT, kind of interesting with Daniel Jones going down. How will that kind of affect him going into 2026? Bijan and Gibbs, not much to say there. We'll see with Gibbs if Demont moves on. That would be kind of interesting. I think that Gibbs, you could make the case for him up, 102, 103, maybe even 101 if Demont is out of here. And then kind of the surprise, the guy that I was low on and was not drafting was JSN, who absolutely exploded, even with Sam Darnold at quarterback. Any thoughts here on kind of these guys that kind of define the season? Obviously, Derrick Henry winning, Sam Sherman, that $2 million. Overall thoughts on kind of these, defining players.
Yeah, this year of this top 6, the one I definitely faded the most was JSN. I did not forecast like a 40 to 45% target share for most of the season. Seems kind of unsustainable, but he also developed into a much better player than I thought he was. The Clint Kubiak system featured some more passing, some more creative passing, and got Darnold some better blocking than I thought he was going to get. Like, I thought that could have been like a Raiders Geno situation in terms of pass blocking, but they came together. The first round pick, Gray Zabel, worked out. So I'm a little worried about JSN at like where he might go next year if Clint Kubiak leaves, which feels very live right now. It's just one of those classic where we're like, oh, well, no, JSN's like he's locked in, but it's like, well, he is going from like a really good play designer to we don't know who he's going to be working with. So I love the player, but if he's going like 5th or 6th next year, I'm going to be a little under 8%. But he's so talented that it's like you gotta get it a little bit. Like, the hottest take I have looking forward on this top 6 is on McCaffrey. If he's going where people are like ranking him right now, I think I'm going to be like a 1 to 2% McCaffrey guy, because he's had like 3 of his last 6 seasons he's like barely played. Like he just sometimes he gets banged up and it doesn't work out. And he just is going to be coming off at least 450 touches this year. And we keep seeing this of like, you buy the guy at the peak, the guy who's like injury prone and a little older coming off of the seat. Like, it's like Saquon this year. It's like, it's also like McCaffrey wasn't efficient this year. It was the 3.9 yards per carry. You're not going to have Kittle next year run blocking for him. Sure, they might check down to him a gazillion times, but is he going to hold up? Maybe he will, maybe he won't. I don't see a lot of juice with him. I don't know why someone else like Jordan James couldn't get more run with them next year or something. I'm just not going to be that pumped on a inefficient volume bet who hasn't had volume out of injury for 3 of the last 6 years.
No, I think it's high risk, high reward. I think obviously like this year, but like you said, so many years he's just been completely out of commission, and eventually the age will catch up to him. I think it already kind of did in terms of like his efficiency as a rusher, and especially lacking Kittle this coming year. Like right. That'll be huge and make it even worse. So it's like, yeah, he can get crazy receiving work, but like, to what extent? Like, is he gonna really hit his top end range of outcomes with all those different factors? Who knows? Maybe he does it again and just absolutely shits in our faces again. But I don't think so. Yeah, the one that is kind of interesting for me is Achane. Just knowing that McDaniels is gone. If McDaniels goes, like I think someone in the chat was mentioning, if McDaniels goes to Detroit, like Bill's up. I'm a Detroit Lions fan. That would be absolutely amazing. I think especially for Gibbs, that would be crazy. He could break fantasy very easily in the CMC mold. But Achane, I think it's like he was such a good marriage with Mike McDaniel in that system, especially in the receiving game. And I don't know, like I'm a huge Achane stan and I love him, but I don't know, man. Doesn't seem like good times are ahead for Achane. Like, how many other coaches are going to be able to utilize him to the maximum extent and not pigeonhole another guy into goal line work or short yardage work, or just like take touches away just because he's quote small? I think that is very live. Nothing else super crazy in this top 10 here. Like, obviously Derrick Henry, people are still going to be drafting him because he hit in the playoffs. Even though he's old, he's still Derrick Henry. James Cook, what are your thoughts on James Cook? He had a pretty crazy year rushing wise. What are your thoughts on kind of James Cook? And then I'm also interested in your take on Jonathan Taylor as well, those two guys.
I was not a James Cook guy until this year. And like, he's just objectively so good. He was up there for like one of the most efficient backs in the league. I know the pass game work wasn't really there this year. It's kind of interesting. He got so many carries, but so little pass work. I don't know what his usage is going to be next year, but I'm just convinced he's really good. And he's in a Josh Allen offense that has no one to throw to in the red zone. And so it's just going to be Josh Allen sprinkling some pass touchdowns. But I think James Cook is just such a solid bet for a lot of work, however you get it. Maybe we can get some more receptions next year. They really don't use Ray Davis like that. No. Ty Johnson siphons some work, but will that always be the case? I don't know. He's like a late first round pick to me. He's just pretty safe, and he gets a lot of spike weeks.
Yeah, I think good offense, good player. Like, don't overthink it. Yeah, is it the most pristine profile ever? No, but just I think the more I get older in life in general, but also in basketball, like it's just like what is actually important, what is not, and like this is one of those cases where it's like, okay, we want the shout out Mathology. He always drafts only the best teams. Obviously you can't predict it exactly, but you're right. You want the good offenses, good O-lines, and players that have shown they're talented efficiency wise. Like, I think all those boxes are checked. So it's not only sometimes who do you draft, but who do you not draft. I think, and that's like a huge takeaway for me, is just like kind of refine your process year over year and kind of be honest with yourself of what's your type. Like we all have kind of types of players we like. We fall in love with these profiles of guys coming in, and also just like we play fantasy. Of course, we just like certain players more and dislike some. So try to be as objective as we can.
For sure.
And then Jonathan Taylor, with kind of the Daniel Jones situation, how do you feel about the Colts, and how do you feel about Jonathan Taylor moving into 2026?
I mean, he started that year so amazingly, and honestly, I can't blame him. Like after Daniel Jones broke his leg, like that's when it really went off a cliff. I feel like around that week 12.
Yeah.
It's like, teams, they played the Texans, and then it's like, your quarterback's leg is broken, and then you're getting Riley Leonard and Philip Rivers. It's like, I can't really blame him for what came after that. He still put up a decent enough floor most weeks. It's not what you're drafting him for, but I don't know. It sounds like they want to run it back with Daniel Jones next year, and it's like, is he going to really be as good as he was this year coming off an Achilles year one? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I hope they also draft someone or get a second vet to compete. Like, I don't know. The Anthony Richardson thing is done, right? So they got to it's over. So like maybe they can get like a bridge guy to start the year if Daniel Jones isn't ready. I'm not like super jazzed on Taylor just because the quarterback situation feels like kind of, but the owner of the Colts is like, these dudes better win or I'm going to fire the shit out of them. And so they might be like, well, I guess we're going to give it to Jonathan Taylor like a record number of times so we can keep our job and just run him into the ground.
Yeah, ride him. He has the talent part, but I'm not necessarily sure, like just team environment. Like, yes, he's going to get fed, but I don't think that usually works out. Like, I think it's usually like, it's just not a bet I want to be making, as much as it's sad that, he could have just absolutely been the guy you needed if Daniel Jones would have stayed healthy. But yeah, kind of a tough one there.
Like where would you take him? Top 5 still? Top 6?
Definitely not top 5. I think probably like end of the first round, like something like maybe 10 through 12, something like that. Like obviously he can still give you spike weeks, and he'll still have his big games, but it's like, is he going to hit that top range outcome? I don't think so. So yeah.
No, probably not.
We got Chad in the chat. Shout out to the morning best ball streaming king.
Yo.
We got my co-host Fantasy Football Garage, the Candy Man. If McDaniel goes to the line, Gibbs would be like, I would probably draft him 101. Let's be real here. Hootie Who, we got Who Hames up in here, and then Robert Griffin III. All the fellas are showing us love, and you absolutely love to see it.
Love it.
Let's see. So Amon-Ra, I don't think he's really exciting to talk about, because it's just like he's always good and the offense is good. And Trey McBride, let's talk tight end. He obviously had a very, very strong year with Jacoby Brissett for most of the season. What do you think the best ball market will do with kind of Trey McBride going into 2026? And then on top of that, like the tight end position as a whole, we know Bowers obviously had a really bad situation this year and dealt with some injuries. And we had some young guys show some stuff as well. How do you feel about Trey McBride, and how do you feel about the tight end position moving into 2026?
Well, I saw Arthur Smith interviewed with the Arizona Cardinals today for their head coaching position. Oof. I feel like now he's probably not going to get it, but I feel like they might do some dumb shit and like hire someone that I'm just like not pumped on, like some kind of retread or something. I could be wrong. That's not like a firm take, but I just get the vibes that they're kind of dysfunctional a little bit. And I have no idea what they're going to do with Kyler. It feels like really a coin toss. You could go either way. Maybe it depends on what the new coach wants to do. You have Dante Moore, the quarterback, going back to Oregon. So that's one less quarterback available at 3. If they would have even taken Ty Simpson, who I guess is the third quarterback, but you don't want to take him at 3, sounds like the vibe. I don't know what they're going to do at quarterback. If they get if they actually got an Arthur Smith, I would like nuke Trey McBride down the rankings so bad.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, he's so good. But if they get like someone normal and Jacoby Brissett comes back, I'm very pumped at like a 1-2 turn Trey McBride, just because he offers so much. He's just legitimately that good on some like McGronk shit. You know, he offers that separation value where like week after week he's scoring like an elite receiver. Like if he was a wide receiver, you would be pumped on him round 2.
Absolutely.
So my tight end philosophy this year, I really screwed myself last year on a couple of things. One, I took a lot of Jonnu when he was on the Dolphins. I was like, it's early, and I thought he was going to run it back. I thought he would be in the Darren Waller and Greg Dulcich role. Wrong. A lot of Njoku, Njoku gets cucked and he's hurt and he's not as good. Tucker Kraft gets hurt. Tyler Warren falls off. So I think this year I'm going to do a ton of 3 tight ends late. I think my overall philosophy this year is going to be like at least 10 running back and wide receivers through round 12. Just I had way too much like Taj Brooks, Jarquez Hunter, Jaden Blue, like all these running backs who are fucking worthless. And it's like I can just mix and match all the guys who actually get work. And I'll have some McBride shares. I'll have some Bowers shares. And we'll get to Bowers probably. But just give me the Jawan Johnsons. Like the tight end skill as a whole keeps getting better and better. Like the tight end and these guys are becoming better athletes. Like give me all the Gunnar Helm. Give me all the Chig when he goes to a new team. Give me like Devin Culp, who's going to be the tight end 1 for the Bucks this year. Give me, Goddard's probably going to go somewhere and he's going to be really cheap. Like, give me Colston Loveland some. Like, no, he's going to be expensive as fuck now.
I was going to say he's going to steam up.
Give me Colston Loveland or Brock Bowers next year for fantasy points, not talent, but like fantasy points.
I still think it's Bowers. I don't know, but maybe that's my Bowers bias. But I think if Bowers just has relatively competent offense around him and system, like he's gonna cook. So
yeah,
I just want to bet on that. Like, not that Loveland obviously is very good, but I don't think they're even in the same realm, honestly. Yeah.
Not talent-wise, but like you get on one hand, it's like the disaster of the Raiders, and you don't know if the new coach is going to like give Bowers as much work as he deserves, just because weird stuff happens out there. Sure. Whereas with Colston Loveland, maybe he's 80% of the player or something, but by year 2, but he might be Ben Johnson's like favorite guy. So I'm like leaving the light on for like. Ben Johnson might just be like, you know what, I'm done with all these old guys. Give me Colston Loveland, Luther Burden, Kyle Monangai, and cook with my new crop, and maybe it's kind of fun.
No, the Bears are pretty exciting. It's all coming together. Zesty Caleb is kind of cooking. You get to see Ben Johnson's offense. Obviously, their defense is horrendous, but not Jared Goff, who can actually like make plays out of structure, plus the structure of the Ben Johnson offense. Pretty enticing.
And remember how like down people were like entering the year on Caleb? They're like, oh, he can't run Ben Johnson's system. He's like screwing up all the time in camp. It's like there's been so much development. Even like September, Caleb was like being hated on, and so much growth. It's like a very tough offense to learn, like year 2 Caleb. Not to get too sidetracked, but that seems like a very fun just environment to buy next year.
There's no sidetracking here, don't worry.
Word.
How do you feel? We talked about Loveland. Kind of a weird season for the receivers. Obviously, DJ Moore didn't do much, kind of being not phased out, but just like being outshone by Odunze. And then we have the youngster. Why don't you kind of talk about the receiver room and how you're feeling about them, and which one do you think you'll be into most at cost?
I think Luther Burden should be the highest drafted.
I would bet I would lose the wife and kids to draft Luther Burden in 2025.
Thornton with a safe play underneath.
It feel like I'm on some. Don't back down to no one. Maybe by the road.
He's too tough.
He is too tough. Sorry, go ahead. So Luther Burden is your guy out of that group.
Yeah, he wasn't my guy entering this year. I liked the talent. It's just rookie receivers, when you have two guys like that established ahead of you, it's just a little tough to get both the early and late season. He got some late season payoff, so we'll take that. But like, it wasn't fully to the level that we would have hoped if you were like into Luther this year. But next year, it's like, okay, he's learned the offense again. It's like a tough offense. He's a rookie. He and Loveland are coming on. And it's like, those are Ben Johnson's guys. He's making crazy plays after the catch. I'm just like, that guy is like the exact archetype you want for like a year two breakout.
100%. Yeah. I mean, especially when you get, I mean, he kind of similar to like a Amon-Ra-esque, right? Like similar size, probably a little bit more explosive. Not as tough as like an Amon-Ra over the middle and that kind of stuff. But I think the combination of the talent, we knew he was talented. He fell to round 2, but everyone kind of was expecting him to be a round 1 guy. With that offense that we continue to talk about, like, it's absolutely wheels up. It's going to get real steamy for Burden. I do think Odunze is kind of, because he kind of had such a strong start and then tailed off so much, I do think he probably will become a little bit of a value. We'll see. Like, obviously we can't predict like camp stuff and just news. And I'm sure we'll get some blurbs of like, oh, Odunze is the number 1, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But I do think kind of like people hold the last thing that happened so much in their head. So we'll see. I think I don't know where he'll end up going, but if it's like 4th, 5th round, maybe even a little bit later, we'll see. Still think he has enough pedigree that he won't fall too much, but I could
6, 7. I think because people always forget like by June or July, like what happened. And they're going to be like, he only had 661 yards and his last game sucked. It's like, I don't know, man. He like broke his foot and was playing through it. So I think that's why the games were worse, because he had a broken foot and then he missed games. So yeah, there's going to be a buying opportunity.
Absolutely. And like, yeah, he ran hot on touchdowns, but like that kind of is his profile. It's more of like, right, like big plays, downfield, X receiver type stuff. And yeah, I definitely think there'll be a lot of buying windows for him.
Is DJ Moore going to be out of there in your opinion? I think he might be out there.
I think both sides want to move on, so I would say it's pretty likely. I would be pretty shocked if he's still there.
Yeah,
because I mean, I don't know. I don't think he's necessarily bad. It's just kind of like a weird situation where it's like both sides are not motivated to either use him well, and also he's not motivated. So it's just like, move on to bigger and better things, and he could be productive somewhere else for sure. I think. I don't think he's like washed, like completely washed. Like,
no, he's still flashed. He might be a little more inconsistent than he used to be. I'm just so triggered by like Amari Cooper, like not caring about football anymore and having a bad attitude. I'm like, is DJ Moore gonna have like an Amari Cooper arc of like he doesn't care anymore? He made some money. He just, I don't know, man. Let's not bring up my traumas.
Yeah,
as I bring them up.
I mean, yeah, RIP to our king Amari Cooper. I was also a stan of him for the last couple of years, and I also was holding out hope until the very end. And it's just, they can't all be winners. They can't all be winners. George Kittle, that was a sad one to see. It'll be kind of interesting we talked about McCaffrey already, but Ayuk, right, didn't do absolutely literally nothing this year. So how does he look, right, year 2? it's kind of not a good sign if you're missing the entire year. So I don't foresee being super into him. Jennings, you know, he's never really been like the guy, but he definitely has shown in flashes. So it could be interesting. How do you like? Right, are we drafting a San Francisco tight end at the end of drafts? Probably. Like if it's some guy, I think you kind of have to. But how do you feel about San Fran outside of CMC? It's kind of a weird situation now.
I'm definitely gonna have some Jake Tonges, you know.
Round 18, round 17.
Well, if they don't sign anyone or draft anyone, he might get spicy. He might get expensive because he had a couple of decent games.
He did, dude. Honestly, he had in target earning games too, which is pretty crazy. But
I think he's like picked up something from Kittle. Obviously, he's not even close to Kittle, but I think he's clearly like intelligent enough to like pick up what Shanahan wants to do. Purdy has trusted him. Mac Jones has trusted him. Like a year 2 type leap. I don't know. He's a rookie, right? I think.
I think he's older.
Oh, is he? Oh, he's on.
I'm pretty sure he's like a guy that's I could be completely.
He's been kicking around. I'll have to. No, you're right. He's been around for a couple years, so maybe that's fool's gold. But whoever's running those routes, I'll dabble a little bit. I could see the hype train getting a little silly, like where he goes like pick 140 or something. But also, not gonna lie, I'm gonna have some George Kittle because I thought Christian Watson was fucking cooked. And then next thing you know, it's October. And I know it's an ACL, but they're talking about like Daniel Jones is going to come back by week 1, maybe next year. It's like, I don't know. Kittle could come back for the best ball playoffs and like just be like a cheap anything is possible. You know, his work ethic, I don't know that. I'm not financial advice. Don't draft a big Kittle bag, but have like 1%, 2%.
I think round 18, we'll see if we get
round 18 1%. And by 1% I mean like 1 share, so it's like the name shows up if you search it, just for the vibes, out of solidarity. I mean, he's done so much for us. Come on.
Yeah he's not a spring chicken anymore, so we'll see. It's hard when you're like 30, what is he, 32 or 33, and then tear your Achilles, probably not good. But I agree.
He's zonked out. Yeah.
He is, absolutely. Let's talk through some other guys. The Harold Planning was pretty fun this year. I don't know, the Browns, don't really know what to think of the Browns ever, but he was fun. Goddard and Henry, kind of some older guys that, you know, good offenses. I think Henry could, I mean, attached to Drake May and the Patriots, like and he's still a good player, you know, not explosive, but definitely good offense and can catch some touchdowns. So I think you were talking earlier about your tight end strategy. Like I just find every single year we get these like guys after the elite tier that we're just drafting just to draft. So I know it's hard because every year we do the exact same thing and push these guys up, but I really do want to do like Trey McBride, Bowers, and then just like wait till round whatever 12, 13 past that and just stack them up, kind of like you were saying. But it's hard in practice to actually do that because you're like, oh, I don't have a tight end yet. This guy's a value. Like, I'm going to take him. And you're like, obviously, you don't want 0%, but I do think, like, from a game theory perspective, like, we need to learn our lesson eventually. Like we do.
And these running back, like, I just was taking notes during the season of, like, what I wish I had. Yo, it's good, Hartman. Like, what I wish I had in the portfolio. And I was, like, looking at my dead ass running back rooms with all these like round 15 to 18 running backs. And then I'm like, man, I sure wish I had some more Charbonnet and Scatabo and this and that, like just live bodies getting points. And, you know, I'm not saying like none of these guys on this list, like one of them in each draft, but I'm definitely not going to be doing like multiple of these guys in the same draft, unless they're cheap enough. Like a Dalton Schultz will be cheap. You want to get me hyped. Jawan Johnson is like, he can actually hoop. Tyler Shuck will probably be my most drafted quarterback next year. And his like target share is good. Kellen Moore can design an offense. There's so many, like, just the tight end talent pool is so deep, and there's not a lot of yards associated with the position. So really, you can just ping pong the touchdown scores. And I think an elite is less important, assuming Kittle realistically misses like most to all of the year. Like, that's one less elite score you really have to chase. And if like McBride has a shitty coach and Bowers is, I really like Bowers next year, but he's not going to nuke every week. A lot of weeks, like, you look at the scores, you know, even if he's getting 14 or 15 a week, all right, you can match that with like a insert whatever late round tight end here that gets 6 for
Dalton Schultz,
40 and exactly. You can match that with like because not every team, okay, like some teams, your tight ends aren't going to do shit, but on that one that wins, that is the one that's going to ping pong those weeks late, and then you're really ping ponging like your elite RB and wide receiver scores, which is what I think really wins it for you.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think like the opportunity cost is just way too high. And like, yes, we get late round running back hits, but it's like, what percent? Like, yes, when you do hit one, it really does matter. Like if it's a Kyron Williams, if it's one of these guys, but like so many times, if you're waiting to take your running backs later on, it's just like you're cooked. Like you're just absolutely cooked. So yeah, I think it's a little bit different. Like at the very end of the season when it's August and we kind of know a little bit more, but like up until then, like I think I definitely want to be taking my running backs a little bit earlier than in years past. So that's a good takeaway for sure.
And like you said, late summer, by then you can start mixing in some like fun round 16 to 18 picks you hadn't had access to all year, hadn't thought about. And then you can take some of those more expensive tight ends because it's like, all right, well, Braylon Allen's going where Dallas Goedert is now anyway. So who cares? You know, take the more expensive tight end and
exactly. I want to take a short break to plug the Discord. Me and Candyman, we're going to get Ballsy back up and running here for the big board. We're mind melding last night for about an hour and a half on a call to get the ball up and rolling. But Discord, we're putting a lot more into the Discord. We're going to be providing. We have a lot of ideas. I won't disclose all of them yet, but we're definitely going to be pushing that a lot more. So if you're not already in there, we have 85 members. If we're going to get best ball content in there, we're going to get some guests and some exclusive content in there that you're definitely going to want to check out after the streams. So use that QR code, and I'll also drop it in the link here in a bit. But
tap in,
get in there,
tap in.
Discord is popping. It has been popping today. We're already on it. Will there be any new music clips? I will say yes, absolutely. We're going to keep it a little bit more structured this year. Have it be more, like a TV show, and then we're still going to keep it chaotic because we have to, right? That's part of the game is to keep people on their toes. So moving on to the quarterbacks. A year where the kind of elite quarterbacks outside of Josh Allen kind of weren't the move. How do you feel about quarterback this year? We had a lot of, kind of later round hits. Mahomes goes down with an injury. I know you kind of already disclosed what you think your quarterback strategy will be, but do you think there's any hope for elite quarterback with Josh Allen, Drake May, Lamar, any other guys that you think could be pushing up into that realm?
I don't know how much Josh Allen I'm going to have just because, again, like, sure, he will sometimes have a 40-point week, but the odds it comes at the right time. Even if he does, I feel like I can make it up with like one of my 3 other quarterbacks if they have 28, because you're getting Josh Allen in a round where like, okay, well, now you're not getting maybe the JSN or the Devontae Adams or the whatever running back you need. Like there's a real opportunity cost to that. So it's like, I would hope he can get like a 40-point week at quarterback.
He needs definitely, to. Like, and even doesn't even matter. He does. Yeah.
Right. So I think, again, I'm going to be a 3 quarterback guy and a 3 tight end guy. front loading running backs and receivers early. Now, if quarterbacks are getting pushed up, like I'm hearing in the streets that they will, at least early last year in big board, like the quarterbacks started off like much earlier and like they drifted later and later as the season went on. I feel like they could get pushed up even more to start this year and then kind of drift back and back as people fall into certain habits. But like, I'm definitely going to be pretty light on any quarterback in the top 5 rounds, assuming kind of it's being drafted like last year. Like I'll just make a leverage bet against Josh Allen taking a gazillion hits. His body's literally getting fucked. Like he's fingers, head, shoulders, knees, and toes. It's all like getting destroyed. Now he's still good, but it's like, okay, Jordan Love could have 30, you know, Trevor Lawrence could have 30. Literally all these guys could have 30. So I'm just going to make a leverage bet against that and try to get as many of the combinations of leverage of running backs and receivers as possible without Allen, Lamar, or I don't know. Where does Jaden Daniels go next year?
I think Jaden Daniels could be pretty fun. Like I think he'll get steamed a little bit, but just the last year holding people's minds will keep him relative, maybe like 5th round, 6th round, or 6-7 turn, something around there. I think he's going to be a big target, especially we'll see what new coach they get, but I think we know he's crazy talented, and we see the sophomore slumps happen with these quarterbacks a lot. So I think he's going to be a big target for me. And then the other guy I wanted to call out was Jackson Dart.
So yes, he was cheating on me for a little over a year and a half from what I know.
I think the running was pretty exciting. Like we knew he was a runner coming in, but very much excelled in that. And then even with Wandale and not having Malik Neighbors, obviously not the best offense, but I think we saw enough flashes where we can say like he is pretty exciting moving forward. And I think I really think he won't be like a late round quarterback, but he'll be a little bit later on where, yeah, okay, there's some fun receivers at like the 7-8 turn or wherever he ends up going. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe he will get pushed up higher than that by if we get some steam. But if he stays kind of past pick 60, 70, something like that range, I definitely think I'll want higher than 8% amount on him. Any guys here? We didn't talk about T-Law. We didn't talk about Dak, Caleb. Any other guys here you really want to highlight at the quarterback position?
I'll definitely just real quick echo your Jackson Dart glaze. He's like rushing with like, he doesn't give a crap about his body at all. He is like maybe a Josh Allen archetype in terms of just like, he'll take hits. He's going to pick up the yards. He's going to get rushing touchdowns. And again, terrible supporting cast. Like he's going to get Neighbors back at some point next year, even if it's not week 1, it should be fairly early. Scatabo coming back to some degree. I assume they'll add something. Wandale's legit. Jackson Dart should be probably one of like the top 5 or 6 quarterbacks drafted, in my opinion, like the 6th or so.
Yeah.
Based on what I saw as a rookie. These other guys, I think Justin Herbert is going to be a huge priority for me next year because I think people are going to be lower on him. They get rid of Greg Roman, who's like just washed. He's got a ton of weapons. Keenan's out of there, so it's going to be easier to stack him with some of his fun young talent. And I think they'll probably get someone in there that can design some better pass plays, coupled with Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt coming back, going from like one of the worst offensive lines at the end of the year to maybe one of the best starting next year. I think just Justin Herbert could have that like kind of Dak, Burrow type bounce back where it's like, yeah, like they got a little banged up and their line was trash, but things are coming together. Like it's just like Justin Herbert with all those weapons. If he gets time in the pocket, he's going to have a lot more of those like green scores that you see, the 27s, the 29s, rather than like 11s and 12s.
Yeah, kind of everything went wrong for the Chargers this year. Hampton was hurt, right? Like O-line absolutely went to shit. I think I completely agree with that. I think the Chargers, Lad McConkey, like Keenan, another year older. Will he be back? Who knows? Like even QJ. I mean, QJ was having a pretty good season and then kind of, fell off. But I definitely think the lack of Greg Roman plus just like getting back to baseline and having just a normal amount of injuries. It is the Chargers, but Herbert is still him, and we saw them be super pass heavy for a while, even with Greg Roman. So if they just regress back to just being a more normal football team in all aspects, I think completely agree. Like I don't think people will be drafting Herbert super early because it's not like he won't really have a target that's pulling him up either. Like Ladd and QJ won't be going super high. Like Gadsden will be going later. Hampton would be the only guy that would probably be going in the first few rounds. So I think even just like drafting structurally, he'll be a natural target.
It's going to be so easy to get like a Ladd, Trey Harris, or QJ Gadsden and Herbert stack, and it's like that could just be what you need at the right time next year, as well as a good advanced combo.
Yeah, I like the Trey Harris shout out. You know what? He didn't play a ton, but when he did, I was kind of impressed with Trey Harris. So he could be one of those guys where it's like doesn't do much and then learns a little bit. He was pretty raw coming out, like from a technical standpoint. So I think definitely very talented and paired with Justin Herbert, like it's easy to see me being
exactly
for sure. So. Do we want to speak on our zesty king Caleb? He probably will get pushed up a little bit higher than I'll be wanting to, like we're talking about, like a little bit higher. Bo Nix, I'm not doesn't entice me whatsoever.
It's just whatever.
Yeah. Baker, Love, kind of like I think they could be I think Baker having such a bad season, he could be going kind of like that Herbert T-Law range from last year where it's like the 120 to like 135 range. I think maybe because of Egbuka. Well, we should have an Egbuka conversation after this. But I think he could be one of those guys where it's like those guys every year that they have a down year and you buy the dip and then they just shoot back up. They score more touchdowns the next year. They pass for more touchdowns.
And Baker, he like hurt his shoulder at one point. He was like in the MVP conversation early. He loses Mike Evans for a stretch and then loses him again. He loses Godwin to enter the year and then loses him again. He loses Jalen McMillan for most of the season. He loses Bucky. It's like, and Tristan Wirfs for a stretch. It's like everything that could have went wrong did. He's still slinging touchdowns to Egbuka and Tez Johnson and like just making shit happen kind of. And then he like hurts his shoulder objectively. He's a tough guy. He played through it, but he wasn't the same after that hit. I think that's like a perfect buy low. They fired their offensive coordinator, so they'll probably bring in a little more creative. And I'm like pumped on Jalen McMillan. Igbuka's good as well. Maybe Big Mike runs it back, maybe not. I mean, Godwin's going to be there. Guys could get hurt again. Any teams, guys could get hurt. But if he gets those four guys back, or at least the three with Godwin, it's like Andy's healthy with Tristan Wirfs. It's like, and Bucky, it's so everything that went wrong, that could have went wrong did. And so he's going to be unnecessarily cheap next year, and I'll buy it.
Yeah, I think the younger Bucks, like obviously you still want some Mike Evans just because he's Mike Evans, but I think Egbuka will. I think he will get, like, people will come around on him, but I think there will be a period where people are just like, oh, like, is he even that good? Like, he was losing routes like at the end of the year. Like, I think Egbuka is very good. It's just like you said, everything kind of went wrong around him. I think I'm going to be super into that stack in particular will be and some Jalen McMillan too, but
a lot of Jalen McMillan. He was snatching Luka's chain by the end a little bit, man. I don't know.
I know, which is pretty wild. Any other thoughts here on QB? It's pretty boring, but
would you be able to flip to page 2 if possible?
Yeah, I was just about to ask.
A little Tyler Shuck glaze, if I may, perchance.
Mayhaps.
Tyler Shuck, $2 million quarterback. Shout out Sam Sherman. Shout out Sam Sherman. Dude, Tyler Shuck is legitimately good. Kellen Moore is him as like a play designer, and he runs. Like, give me the Olave stack with Jawan tossed in there. They're gonna add someone in the draft or free agency. Tyler Shuck is just, but like I know quarterbacks are going to be pushed up, but Tyler Shuck's not going to go in like the 120s or anything.
No.
Like, give me Tyler Shuck with like a better supporting cast year 2, like a full off season with the ones, not split. Like by the end, he's putting up like 22, 18, 17. I think he put up like another 22. Yeah, give me all the Tyler Shuck, and he's got aura. So.
Absolutely, he does. Have you seen his Instagram posts and the music he puts on them? It's S tier aura right there.
What is he doing? Is he getting some young boy in there? Like, what's he?
No, it's like old school like Southern like bangers, like Lil Boozy and like yeah, bro. Wow. He's in his bag. He's in his bag for sure. He's got some good influences down there. In NOLA. Yeah, there's some weird ones down here, like Tua, like what the hell happens with him? Like he's probably starting somewhere, right? Like Fields even, like is he starting? Is he a backup? Like who knows? Probably a backup, but we will see.
Jacoby Brissett or Justin Fields, who's more likely to start somewhere next year?
I think Brissett, honestly.
Yeah,
like Brissett is just like such like a locker room like stat. I mean, dude, he was good this year. Like I know it was on a terrible team, but like he was solid. Like nothing was Jacoby Brissett's fault of anything to do with the Cardinals. It was kind of everything else.
You're telling me Justin Jefferson wouldn't want Jacoby Brissett to show up for a competition?
Bro, he would murder for Jacoby Brissett.
Oh my god.
Anybody else here? Like Cam Ward, I don't know. I'm not into Cam Ward. Like he'll be cheap again, so like whatever. You can stack them, but
I got to see the higher they get in the offseason moves. I think I'm going to have a decent amount of Cam Ward cuz by the end he was like finally piecing some weeks together, even against like good defenses like Seattle and stuff. Not like a crazy ceiling. Like I think Shuck has more of like a rushing thing going on. But by the end, like Pollard was finally getting the rushing going. They were using some of the, I really like just the dirt cheap stack of like Cam Ward, DK, Gunnar Helm, Io Manor, fade Calvin Ridley, fade the olds. But you could get like throw Tajay Spears in there, get like a 5-piece stack all after pick 100. And by the end, they were like showing some like, he could be like a garbage time king with like a good coach or something.
Yeah, I mean, we like we said, we're 3 QBs. Like you're always going to be drafting some nasty teams and some bounce back teams, and you just need 1 or 2 to hit, and like they pay off, right? So it's fine. I can definitely see it.
Can I give you a 60 IQ like quarterback take? 60 IQ meaning my IQ is 60 for thinking this could be a good idea. But Geno Smith is probably going to get traded somewhere, right?
Yeah, probably. I mean, Geno Smith will probably 100% be starting. Like there definitely is not 32 quarterbacks better than Geno Smith. Like
there's just not. And like I know he had a terrible year, but quarterback points are hard to come by if all the quarterbacks get pushed up. Like maybe Geno Smith starts for the Browns. Maybe he competes for the Vikings and he would beat out JJ McCarthy. Maybe he goes to Arizona. I don't know, but Maybe he goes to Pittsburgh. There's like options. Miami.
I can see Pittsburgh. Geno Smith does seem like a Pittsburgh-ass quarterback, honestly.
I could see it.
Let's go through the chat here really quick before we move on. Or let me switch over to the running backs just so we can.
Sorry to everyone in chat who had to hear me give like a bull, any semblance of a bull Geno Smith take. I apologize.
We got the OG Torta Pounder in here, Nick Bach. Win the flex. Go check out his channel. Herbert more expensive than 2025? Probably a little bit.
Just as the nature of quarterbacks seemingly getting pushed out, everyone's going to be into the quarterbacks.
Yeah, I think he'll still be like probably what, pick 100 probably, maybe slightly later. Let's see, Tua in Minnesota. I don't think. I mean, it could work, but I don't think Minnesota would do that. I don't know if they're falling for the Tua hype. I just feel like they're too smart of an organization to do that. But I don't know. Maybe I'm.
That's almost like left-handed, mature JJ McCarthy at that point. Like, I don't know. Like, what do we do at that point? Let's just ride it out with McCarthy.
Yeah,
I'm pretty down on Tua. He will start somewhere, but
100% he will. Some Mick Shanahan system will try to revive his career. I don't know. Maybe he does it, but I don't know. I've just never been a Tua guy. So
the New York Jets.
Oh God, dude, that would be so gross. Oh my God.
You would see like a tragedy on TV.
Dude, I need to like take a shower after like hearing that. That's gross.
I'm killing the vibes. My bad.
The Slappies hate Shuck. Do they? I don't know. I feel like the Saints have good vibes. Like I had a show with Candyman after like week 1 or week 2, and we were just like, the Saints are a fun bad team. Like when you have Kellen Moore, they run with pace. It's like a bad basketball team that just like always throws it ahead and tries to get transition buckets. Like it's just like, okay, like yeah, maybe they're not actually good, but like they're fun for fantasy.
Cheap Devin Neal too, maybe.
Yeah, I think. Well, we'll see. I guess it's the Saints, so they don't have that much like draft capital, so they could. But let's see, Pittsburgh low, Tua in Minnesota. See, I was gonna say people would definitely be in. People, of course. I mean, anybody in Minnesota, you would have to be in. But like, that hurts, pains me to even think about. Okay, so we already talked through some of the top guys. What do we do with Saquon Barkley next year? Like, I don't know. Like, does he fall far enough? Probably not, just based on name value. Let me scroll down a little bit more here because I feel like we already kind of talked through some of these top guys.
You think he's like a 2-3 turn guy?
Probably just based on name, like especially like anybody who's not just a running back hater is just like, they still love Saquon Barkley. Like, come on, the name brand is just too strong. So I think there's no way he falls past like mid round 3.
What are we can't take Kyron Williams over him with the Corum breakout. We can't take DeAndre Swift over him. We can't take Javonte Williams. Like, late round 2, early round 3. I'm for it. I mean, they fired Kevin Patullo, who was like, I don't use this word lightly. He was a terrorist. He was my least favorite coordinator in Philly sports history, and that's saying something as a Philly fan. Now, the offensive line is going to take a hit because I think Lane Johnson retires. Landon Dickerson's like kind of banged up, like maybe pretty badly. Hopefully they address offensive line in the draft, but I think they'll get a good coordinator. They're interviewing Mike McDaniel, Brian Daboll. I think they'll get someone like competent to design the offense. And just the amount of volume he gets, it can't be worse than this year. The only way it could be worse than this year for Saquon is if they realize that Tank Bigsby deserves a little bit more work. Like, I gotta glaze my man's Tank Bigsby. Didn't he average like 6 yards per carry this year or something? It was crazy. Where it's like not a 90-10 split, but more of like a 70-30, like a normal healthy split. I could see.
I don't think Tank Bigsby is bad. That's what I will say. Okay, that's my contribution to the Tank Bigsby discourse. He's not bad. Okay,
He's a grinder. He's an efficient grinder. So it is what it is. The mainstream media hates to hear it, and I'm not saying he's taken over, but I'm not saying he's not. No, I'm kidding. But
that sounds like me on a Saturday night. Efficient grinder. I think the guy that I'm most interested in out of the rest of these guys is Genty. It's just like, yeah, he could go the route of like a Trent Richardson, but like I think we saw he's very good. Like it's just It was a dumpster fire, and it wasn't just like, oh, the team's kind of bad. It was like complete dumpster fire. So kind of just I think I forgot who we were talking about before. Like if they just get any I think it was Bowers. I think like you're telling me Bowers and Genty, like if they just get like a like below average team around them, aren't just going to absolutely cook. Like I don't know. I get O-line plays a part and quarterback plays a part, but like I think they're going to be both expensive, but I definitely think we're not drafting Genty Bowers at the 1-2 turn, but what about the 2-3 turn?
Dude, some people are talking about Genty at the 1-2 turn, and I'm I don't like love it, but I'm like, I would do it if I had to. The talent is there. Like it's clearly not a talent issue. The workload picked up by the end of the year. I mean, even with the worst circumstance of any running back in the league, he had 31 points in the fantasy playoffs. Like it can't be worse. A lot of their offensive linemen last year were banged up for the Raiders. I can't see. He has an awesome floor. He's kind of like an Achane to me, where it's like, maybe not the best situation, but a lot of work, and he's a great player. But his situation, his stock has to be going up compared to his 2025, whereas Achane's might be trending down. So maybe they meet in the middle and should be ranked next to each other or something. I don't know.
I think that's a good take. Yeah, I mean, like, dude, I'm the biggest Achane lover on the planet, and like, I'm telling you, the Mike McDaniel thing is going to be very, very impactful. Like, so yeah, 100%. Like, you still have to take him. He's Achane. He can just break the world, but he's not going to be utilized in the same way. It's just absolutely not. Let's see. Anybody else here? Javonte. I don't know. Like, he's fine. What about some guys that, like, I'm sorry?
Could I give you a name that's absolutely going to be ranked on this list next year? That's like, yeah, of course. He's going to be way too cheap at the start of big board, and then he's going to sign somewhere in free agency.
Absolutely.
Number 19 on the list, Breece Hall. Like, he's a free agent, right? He's going to like get to pick wherever he wants to go.
He's definitely going to, yeah, dude. Breece Hall to the Cowboys, wheels up.
To the Chiefs.
I feel like that should have happened this year. Like, it should have happened this year. They should have just done that. I mean, obviously it worked out with Javonte, but dude, yeah. He's like the classic good running back that is on a bad team and goes to a better team. We've seen it a million times.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's so many spots that could use him, like, yeah, the Texans. I mean, literally anywhere he goes, he's going to, within reason of the places he would want to pick to go, he's going to be the RB1, and it's probably going to be a good spot. It's like when Saquon picked the Eagles or Josh Jacobs picked the Packers, or, they're not changing teams to not go to a good spot. So Breece Hall is going to be like a big board priority for me early, because I think he's just going to be too cheap. It's like, let's just assume he gets a good spot.
Dude, 100%. You gotta buy that opportunity. Every year we see stuff like that happen where people just don't price stuff in. Like in Dynasty, I would always just like, you're like, okay, his price is just low because people can't conceptualize in their brain that like he's gonna sign somewhere, and it's like
it's scary.
It's scary. Ooh, risk. Yeah, I would say like, just, yeah, it's best ball. You're gonna fucking lose anyways. I know we say this. I know it's a like thing that it's a joke, but like it truly is real. Like, you need to completely detach yourself from like there is only upside in certain scenarios. So like, who gives a shit? Like, just draft these guys.
if he leaves and goes to like the Bears, and like let's say Swift is gone and he goes to the Bears, or like
fuck.
he goes to the Chiefs, isn't he like a round 1-2 turn pick probably? Like with the hype?
100%. Yeah, absolutely.
So could get a unique combo early.
BRB, I'm gonna go and buy some Brees Hall in Dynasty right now after this. Texans, yeah, I could. I feel like, I mean, that's fine. It's like a fine spot. Yeah, I could see that. Nick Box says, like the video. Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe if you're not already. Yeah, the boys have big plans for the off season. We'll get Sus on here. We'll get Nick on here. We'll get some other boys. We'll get some quad boxes going. Don't you worry. Some Torta Thursdays, and you know the vibes are going to be absolutely immaculate. Sean Tucker get an RB2 or 1B job. Isn't Sean Tucker still? He'll be with, right? Like he'll be in.
I think one more year.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it'll still be Bucky, but like he's good enough. Like he'll be probably like what, pick 130, pick 120, around that range. Could get up to there.
Buy some Rashad White as he goes somewhere in free agency. Probably gets a bag.
Probably, dude. Big, fat running back that catches passes. You know,
poor man's Christian McCaffrey.
White. It is my type. So
he was posting some hype videos with like his time in college playing with Jaden Daniels. You could argue they need like a pass down running back. They have some money they could throw at him. So Rashad White, I'm like kind of penciling in as maybe it's kind of crazy if he posts a bunch of hype videos and then doesn't at least visit with them or something. So I think he's going to be very cheap early in big board as well, Rashad White. And it's like, I'm kind of into him in the Eckler role, you know, with opportunity.
Absolutely.
More.
Dude, I'd be all in with that. JCM in the early down grinder role and Rashad White in the Rashad White role.
Yeah.
You love to see it. Dude, I think the Commanders are going to be like, they got rid of Kingsbury, healthy Jaden Daniels. Like, I think we should be buying. I mean, I don't know about whatever. I guess Debo and McLaurin, they're old as fuck. But like, if it's Jaden Daniels, like they're going to be good. So like, yeah.
I'll buy the Terry dip. I don't know about Debo, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't know about Fat Debo. What about Kenneth Walker? Like he probably ends up, right? He's kind of similar to Brees, right? He probably goes somewhere and is like probably more of like an early down guy versus the pass catching guy, but you never know. You could luck box into some of that. So, and he'll probably be pretty cheap. I mean, the fact that he's still playing in the playoffs, like, right? Like as guys kind of go into the playoffs and they're still fresh in your mind, it'll probably keep him a little bit higher. But I mean, he's talented at least. Not as talented as Brees Hall, but no.
Do you think if they make a run, they could pay him and keep him?
They could. Teams do that sometimes. Like, yeah, teams do that sometimes, right? It definitely happens. Anybody else here? What do we do with Scatabo? I saw shout out the boys on Toxic Tower. I think they were kind of talking about like they were finishing their top 36 rankings and kind of like just talking about that range. How do you feel about that? Where would you take Scatabo? Like, no, if the medicals are like not glowing but not terrible, just like what we kind of expect, where are you going with the Scat man?
As the resident Cam Scatabo hater in the best ball community, I'm not going to have him ranked in like the top 80. I didn't think like his best game was against the Eagles, and he was completely inefficient. And he gets the goal line. That's very good. New York Giants goal line back. I get it. But he wasn't efficient in that game until like the garbage time drive at the end. And it's like, okay, fine. But I think the injury is pretty significant. Like his leg was his foot was hanging off his ankle. There was ligament damage. You know, there's like a return to performance. Now, at least he's young. I don't know. Is he like the most locked in on his rehab? I don't know. Is he a streamer now? I don't know. He's just like he's like a fun guy. Like that's what's going to keep him propped up is like the QB1 loves him, and so he's going to have a role. But a lot of the sharp people have him in their top 40, and I'm like, this is just going to be one of those hard fades for me. I'm like, I'm fading the vibes. That's probably bad, but like, I don't think they give him that full workload year one off that injury, and I have like a little bit of a year one, you know, Javante type efficiency concern. I know it's not a knee injury, but his foot was literally dangling off his ankle.
No.
It was pretty bad.
I could not be more with you. Like, don't get me wrong, love Scatabo. He's as a guy who used to bang his head into stuff for fun and enjoyed it. Like, of course I love him, but like,
sure,
he, you know, wasn't the most athletic guy to begin with. And then round 4 pick, very significant injury. He was an older prospect. Like, all those things point to he's not going to just like bounce back and just be the same guy. Most guys aren't off of that kind of injury, and you add in those other factors, he's going to be a hard fade for me.
Tyrone Tracy,
you get really bad injury news and he absolutely drops, then I'll start taking him. But until that happens, I think I'll be 0%. Like, I can't. It's like just one of those situations where it's like the vibes are so good. Let's say he's like such a meme that people will take him just like for fun. But I will be completely out.
Yeah, because people are going to be afraid to not have any. I just can't overlook that injury. That was such a brutal injury. And you know he's not going to be ready like right away in July. There's going to be like stuff, and he's going to drop like a rock. And then I'll scoop some, you know, to insure myself against that risk.
Absolutely. We got a JCM good at football, yes or no?
I like him better if Jaden Daniels is there to like create rushing lanes, but he literally cannot like push a defender back or like break a tackle to save his life. So I lean a little closer to the no than the yes as a huge glazer, but like, again, it's like if Jane Daniels can open like rushing lanes, it's like a Keaton Mitchell thing. Like, he could just bust some huge runs, you know, and if the rushing lanes are there.
Yeah, I don't think he's that good, but I completely agree. Like, it's one of those offenses where it's just like, exactly, Keaton Mitchell. How many times have we seen it with running quarterbacks? Like, he is like fun and explosive, but he's just not like a really good running back. But that's fine. That can be useful.
He had such like a frustrating lack of like push. Like, when he would hit a defender, like the defender wouldn't go back 6 inches. Like, it did nothing to them.
He's all finesse, no grit. The opposite of Scatabo for sure. Will Tank Dell ever recover? I mean, he's going to be like 27. He's like 112 pounds, and he had a major injury. Like, I think
like one of the most devastating. Yeah, I'm rooting for him, but
of course,
we'll see. You know, I wouldn't put money on it though.
You know, shout out to Fantasy Dog Pound. I have a PSA 10 Tank Dell rookie card that, you know, I'm just waiting. It's waiting for 2027 for one big game to you know, pay off. Which head was I banging into stuff for fun? Well, I was 300 pounds, so I think you know which one I was banging into stuff for fun. All sizzle, no steak. Any other guys? Judkins thoughts. Charbonnet, if no Kenneth Walker, how high does he go? Give me your thoughts on those three: RJ Harvey, Judkins, and Charbonnet. I think those are like pretty fun names. So yeah, give me your take on those younger-ish guys.
So if Walker leaves, I'm going to be very high on Charbonnet. He's got the goal line role for sure, and he could just pick up some extra yardage along the way as well. Like, that just feels like a very, very fun click. I would take him like in that top 36 that people are talking about.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
RJ Harvey, big RJ Harvey fan coming out, you know, where he was going early. He's another guy that's like, now he's better than JCM for sure. He's more involved in the pass game. He can get a little bit more push, but he also has some like horrendous, stat lines of like 15 for 28 and like just so inefficient. Now he could get better, but I don't know if they're ideal situation was to have him get this much work because they liked Dobbins. Maybe they bring in someone to be like a Dobbins. Obviously Harvey will be the RB1, but I don't know if they want him to be like a 20 touch guy. Like I would still rather have Bucky, and I know some people are putting Harvey over Bucky. I can't get there. I think I'll have Harvey probably ranked in like pick 40, and I just don't know if that'll get me him. But I'll have some because it's a good offense, and I'm attached. Judkins, the injury really scares me. It seemed like it came out that was like pretty tough. I don't know like what Brown I'm gonna like be able to take next year and like feel good about besides like Harold Fandon. Feels pretty sad, but pretty bleak.
Yeah, I feel like I completely agree. The Browns, it's gonna be just so scary. Even Fannin though, dude, like I just feel like he's gonna get steamed so much by the best ball bros that I'm just gonna be like at a point where I'm just like, okay, he's good, but like, is he worth the cost? I don't know. We'll see. I can already foresee it. Like on fucking January 14th, like we know it's gonna get steamy with Fannin, no matter what's going on. Like, so yeah, I don't know. I think Harvey's not even that young. Like he was already like almost 25, or like now he's 25. So like,
right.
Yeah, good offense. I think he is like a fantasy friendly profile, but not one where like he really, really takes over like all the work. Like, yes, he can be efficient, but is he really like giving you one of those top end seasons? I don't think so. I do think Charbonnet could just absolutely destroy, like kind of like Josh Jacobs-esque, where it's like not the fastest guy, but just consolidates all the work. He can catch passes. He gets goal line work. It's just like he does everything well, and he, will be on a good team. So they'll probably be up more than the average team. So yeah, dude, if Sharps is the guy, like I don't think you can take him to, like he won't be like a first round pick or anything like that, but like 2-3 turn, like where Jacobs was going last year, like even into maybe like mid second round, like I can see it. Like those running backs that get that kind of volume in kind of all areas, like I can see it. And then yeah, Judkins already kind of a weird rookie season. So like, and then you add the injury on top of that, and he's a Brown. We'll see where he ends up. That's what I'll say. We'll see where he ends up. I'm never gonna say no. He's definitely a talented guy. But injury definitely doesn't help.
What about I don't think this guy's gonna get too expensive because his teammate is so hyped up and people are gonna anticipate a year too late. But how about Ramondre Stevenson, RB2, having good games as Drake May really settles in with this new offense, this McDaniels offense. They really like Ramondre. He feels like a guy who's going to be too cheap. Monangai feels like a guy who's going to be too cheap until like Swift leaves, if that happens. David Montgomery might leave the Lions. He could get a nutted spot. I mean, there's a lot of guys in here that I like. Pollard finally picked it up at the end. Woody Marks they might just be like, yeah, whatever. This is our guy, I guess.
Woody Marks kind of feels Damian Pierce-esque, I'm not gonna lie. I know it's the Texans, but like I don't know, like he's fine, but like I don't know.
I thought he was so ass, but then he had like 112 rushing yards this week. I'm like, I'm trying to like parse out like because my opinions get me in trouble in terms of my takes. I'm like, well, this is what I believe should happen. It's like, well, the Houston Texans actually don't care at all what I want to happen. They might just tell Woody Marks, hey, you're getting 17, 18 touches a game, whether you deserve them or not. And I'm like, oh shit. Well, if that's the case, I need some.
Yeah.
If he survives the draft, I'm going to be into it. But he is live to get like a day two between the tackles back, taking some of his shine.
I can see it. Demont, we brought up him. What if he's in the J.K. Dobbins role with Harvey? Isn't that? I feel like that's a good fit. I feel like that's a very good fit. I would be into that. I think I would be into both guys because it would probably, I don't know. I don't think it would push Harvey down a ton, but like he's a more established of a name where I feel like it would probably make them both palatable. Ramondre,
Do you think ETN? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Do you think ETN goes back to Jacksonville?
I kind of feel like he does.
I
I kind of
see
feel
that.
like they like him and they're just like, he kind of wants,
He's good.
like, he had a good season. They both kind of are like, okay, let's just run it back. Like, you know, I'll be drafting some Tootin late. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. I won't get too into my Tootin takes, but yeah, Ramondre, dude, he will be like the quintessential like pick 85 to 110 running back that just like we're hammering like a lot just because it's like you said, we want to be hammering the running backs and wide receivers early. And it'll be a good offense attached to Drake May. Yeah, sign me up. Let's run it back.
Yeah. Some Henderson in the Gibbs role, Ramondre in the Monty role.
Yeah. All right. Now for the real fun. The wide receivers. We talked through some of these top guys. How do you feel about the Cowboys guys? I think that would be my first question because Lamb kind of a weird season. Pickens super strong early on, and then still had some good games, but wasn't like absolutely going crazy like he was kind of the first half to 2/3 of the season. How do you feel about the Cowboys and their passing game and those two guys and where they'll end up going? Because they'll probably both be like one first round, second round picks, both of them. So
I'm very scared about George Pickens because I was into him big time this year, but it's like once he realized he had secured the big contract, he like kind of stopped trying more than half the games. Yeah, I didn't love what I saw from him in December from an effort perspective. And I'm like, was this like a quintessential contract year, best we'll ever see out of George Pickens? Also, I just believe CeeDee Lamb is better than him by a little bit. It's no disrespect to Pickens, but I think CeeDee Lamb is like the truth if he doesn't get hurt.
I agree.
I'll be very heavy on CeeDee Lamb this year. People are talking about like and like everyone's like, well, 10th pick, 11th pick. I'm like, Puka, Jamar Chase, and then who at receiver? Like, I feel like there's a little bit of CeeDee Lamb disrespect, just because of the injury and how good Pickens was. So I'll be very into Lamb. Pickens scares me a little bit. Amon-Ra, I know we talked about him a little bit earlier, but it's like that dude is so durable, will play through anything, and new offensive coordinator coming. I mean, could be great, could be a lateral move, whatever. Like Amon-Ra is just such a good bet. I'll be into him. Olave, on the shuck tip, it's like he was everything you could have asked for late. Getting targets, getting yards, finally spiking. Olave, like I would take Olave over Pickens, and that might sound crazy, but I kind of would do that.
I don't think it's that crazy. I mean, dude, like it's gonna be high pass volume offense. Like, dude, Olave, the problem with Olave has never been Olave. Like we've known he's good since his rookie. We've known he's good since he was like a sophomore at Ohio State. Like we know he's just really good at football. Finally the stars aligned this year where like it all came together. But like if Kellen Moore's still there, Shuck is still there, he's just gonna get fed targets. And I agree. Pickens just way more volatile. Like, yeah, he'll have some crazy big spike weeks, but so will Olave. So I don't know. I'm not like anti Pickens, but I do think like he's more of a best ball pick. I mean, we're talking best ball, but it's just like he definitely will have some stinkers. And he's just such a wild card in all areas. What do we do? We talked about Amon-Ra. What do we do? There's three guys here where I feel like it's like we saw some very good. And it's kind of like it's this range of guys where like we always fall in love with like kind of younger receivers, up and coming guys, and they get a little bit steamed up. Zay Flowers, he finishes like the wide receiver 7 on the season in points per game, like even though it wasn't like that impressive. Do we see kind of if their offensive coordinator leaves, if we see like, I don't know, do we see him kind of like more traditional offense? It's Lamar, so probably not. So Zay Flowers, Jameson Williams, and then wild card Michael Wilson. What do we do with Michael Wilson in 2026? So yeah, vamp on those three for a minute.
Zay Flowers, total week 18 merchant. I mean, he is good at football, but like he put up like a gazillion points in a week like where no one else was playing or trying. Like I think his points per game, like if you take out that week 18 game, which I know you can't, it was a very high stakes game for his team, but like it's week 18. I don't know, man. Come on. JMO, I love as a player. He deserves more work. You know, he earned more work because he's so good by the end, but also I think like a Sam Laporta vacancy, like there's a bit of like a hole being filled there. So I'll definitely have some JMO, but it won't be a massive stand. I think the massive stand of like the guys like out on the screen right now is Tet. I think Tet is just like a total dog. And I know Bryce Young is like limited as a quarterback, but Tet has like Drake London alpha vibes written all over him to me. I'm going to be very high on Tet probably wherever he goes, which I think is probably like round 3 or 4 or something. Round 3 probably, maybe, I guess.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Michael Wilson, it's interesting because he just objectively was really good, but it like feels fake because it's Michael Wilson. So I don't know what to make of that. And like, is Marv going to carve into his work or not? Like, I don't know. Is Marvin Harrison the real Michael Wilson at the end of the day? It's going to come down to the coach that they get. And if they can run back Jacoby, that'll definitely help him. I think we're going to get like cheap-ish Michael Wilson, relative to where he finished the year. I probably won't be too hype on him just because I also think his connection with Jacoby was pretty special. And they're going to probably balance out the pass attempts with the run attempts. Like they have to run a little bit more. They couldn't. They were too pass happy.
And they were just so bad that they just end up passing so much. I kind of feel like JMO, like he's kind of just like the perfect best ball wide receiver.
Yeah.
And yeah, Laporta was out, but like, I don't know. I think when you kind of like step into that next, like where you show like you're just a guy, I kind of feel like he kind of continues that ascension. And who knows, maybe they do get McDaniels, right? And he just kind of like really, really, it falls into his lap where like, that's just a match made in heaven. So no, definitely really into JMO. And I think Ted McMillan, like the sky is the limit for him. I mean, like exactly what you're saying, like the Drake London mold, kind of like a Nico Collins mold, like took him a little bit. Like he wasn't obviously kind of bad situation and everything, but like he was dominating from the start. Super good player. And I think he's one of those guys where like we could immediately next year, it could be like week 4 and we could be like, oh, Ted McMillan is like a first round pick next year. Like it's easy. Like we can already future project like how it's going to turn out. And I don't care. Yeah. I pretty much like don't think you can really take him too high. So if he is at like that 3-4 turn range, like I will be all over that.
Top 10 pick in his draft, number 1 receiver in his class. Miss me with that cornerback shit. Miss me with that Travis Hunter shit. I'm sure we'll get into the Jags momentarily, receiver room, if you want to talk about a real mind twister. Those 4 guys.
Let's get into it. I was going to ask you earlier when we were looking at the quarterbacks with T-Law. What the fuck do we do with the Jags wide receiver room? It's not Jacoby Myers, I will say that. As a Jacoby Myers lover of many years, I don't think it's Jacoby Myers. But where are you at with kind of the other 3 guys? And what do you like? How do you think it will play out? Like, where do you think these guys end up? And I guess start with that, and then like, where do you think will be the guy that you're actually targeting? I'll give you my hint. I think it's going to be BTJ, because I just feel like people are just going to see the really bad season and just like kind of throw him out with the trash. And I still think BTJ is good. It's just kind of a weird situation. But what are your thoughts?
Brian Thomas, the San Francisco 49er, back with Mac Jones, vibing on the second team. Let's make it happen. No. Jacoby Myers is the one of the four that should not be ranked first. Like the most, like it's most clear that he shouldn't be ranked first, but that doesn't mean he should be last at the same time.
Yeah.
Because he's locked into some sort of role as the 2 or the 3. And that either means Travis Hunter is like a part-time 30% Tim Patrick, De'Ami Brown-ass role on offense, or Brian Thomas gets traded. Like Parker Washington is locked in. He's too good. He's too good. He's like their most reliable guy who gets open 10, 15 yards downfield, catches everything. Like, I think it's probably going to be Jacoby Myers, Parker Washington, and then either Brian Thomas is on the team and Travis Hunter rotates, or they trade Brian Thomas. And if they keep Brian Thomas, then it means they believe in him. And I think he's been dealing with injuries like all year, like a wrist since the summer was talked about. And, you know, he got popped a couple times over the summer and didn't look right after. And like Matt Harmon's talked about it too and stuff. So I'm inclined to believe him that there's some injury stuff with Brian Thomas, maybe some mental stuff that just snaps back. Travis Hunter looked really good before he got hurt, but he was very raw and like he didn't look like amazing. Absolutely. He just like flashed. So it's like it's probably the situation, like all my years of playing fantasy, the one that I can make like the least sense of. And honestly, I think they're all going to be too cheap because there's so many of them. Like, aren't they all going to be discounting each other, like just like knocking each other down? But
absolutely, yeah.
But you want them.
No, you do. You definitely do want them. I think like it'll be a weird, like they're all bunched together, like within like two rounds of each other. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be weird.
Who would you take first? You would take Brian Thomas first, or that's your target at whatever the cost is?
I mean, that's a really good question. I feel like if BTJ is on the Jags, he will go first. Like just based off of pedigree, like I think it would be hard for people to not. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's the dynasty. Maybe it's the dynasty bro in me that's holding through for hope.
Hayden Winks put up a poll, and it was like, which of the 4 would you take first? You want to guess who got 47%? If you had to
Parker
guess.
Washington.
Yeah. Now I wonder how much of that is recency bias from literally that day versus like, will people actually feel this way, and will the market be that? Because if that's the case, I'm not going to have a lot of Parker Washington.
No.
So real with you.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We already talked Igbuka. I don't really even want to dive into DK Metcalf discourse. Yeah, so let's just avoid that one.
Gino to DK, whatever.
Yeah. What about Jefferson? Where do you take him if it's anyone but JJ McCarthy? Where are you taking him? If it is JJ McCarthy, where are you taking him?
If it's anyone but JJ McCarthy, he's going to be one of the 15 guys that I've got ranked at the 1-2 turn. And if it's JJ McCarthy, I'll give him a look at pick 27, 26. You know, I'll think about
27, 26, okay.
26, 27 is about where I would, because the dude like barely scraped out 1,000 yards. And I do think there will be a concerted effort to get him the ball. And I don't know, Jordan Addison is like pissing his life away. He got arrested again in Tampa like last night or 2 days ago or something. I'm not sure if you peeped that. Like he tried to break into a casino.
I didn't see that. I saw that he got arrested, but I was at work. But
he tried to break into the Hard Rock Casino at 4 a.m. One of us. But yeah, I don't know, man. He seems like a crash out. So Jefferson, you might have another Addison suspension for a little bit. I don't know, man. Like, what do you make of it? Because obviously he's like a top 2, 3, whatever receiver in the world, wherever.
Yeah.
You want to say 1, fine. But like, the guy can't get him the ball. So.
No, I don't know. I kind of feel like the Vikings are they're gonna bring in someone where they trust, whether it's Jacoby Brissett, whether it's enter quarterback that's older and just can be a steady Eddie guy. So like that just gives me the confidence that like they will give him the like either way, like either they give JJ McCarthy the first shot, he'll shit his pants. They'll bring the other guy in within a few games, or the other guy is just better and he'll start from the beginning. So like barring injury, like I just don't see JJ McCarthy playing that much. And I don't know, maybe that's a hot take. I don't think it's that hot, but
Kirk Cousins. They get Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, dude, Kirk Cousins.
We're back.
Who gives a shit? Like, dude, he can run the Minnesota offense. Like, let's be real here. Like, we know he can. He doesn't have to be mobile. He can just do nothing and just drop back 2 steps, 3 steps, just let the ball out. That's all you have to do. So that kind of leads me to think that it'll be kind of variable throughout the offseason. Like, I think there'll be times where, like, oh, JJ McCarthy is starting. Like, he's our guy. Like, and so then he'll probably whatever. He'll fluctuate. So I want to be when there's kind of like the fear greed index when it's, you know, when people are feeling good, like whatever. I want to go against whatever the grain is at that particular moment, I would say. So it'll just be one of those ones where you like kind of have to constantly be monitoring. Don't just see Justin Jefferson and just click him. You have to like really be mindful of like, okay, what is going to happen in 2 weeks? What is going to happen in 2 months? Like, what news are we hearing? So yeah, we know he's a good player.
And I think also just if you look at these names from like Wan'Dale Robinson down to like Jawan Jennings and the talent discrepancies in between, it's just like, just don't draft too many early receivers. Like get James Cook, get Achane, get Genty, get Chase Brown, get obviously the top first round guys too. Like don't do the 1 running back through 6 bullshit. You don't have to do it. Of course, someone won BBM this year doing that, but I think you'd probably be better off with 2 through 6. I bet, you know, because Sam Sherman had, I think, like 1,590 points that, like, in a bunch of my pods, like from the regular season, wouldn't have gotten out. So if you have a well-structured team, anything can win. But I think optimal would be like 2 of those running backs through round 6. You don't have to get all these receivers when it's so flat in this like current meta where like a lot of guys can pop off in a given week and kind of match.
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to be, take your running backs through kind of like the 9th or 10th round, like wherever, get your enough receivers, take your running backs through the middle rounds, hit quarterback, quarterback, maybe some running back, and then just hammer the later wide receivers. Because like I know people have already brought this up, but it's just like, what each year we have the Rashad Bateman, we have like these guys that get pushed up just because we're like, oh, we need wide receivers. It's like, no, you don't. Like there's no difference. There's literally no difference. Like one guy's gonna score 6.3 points per game and one guy's gonna score 6.9 points per game. Like there is no difference. So I would say overall my takeaway is just go in with a plan. Like evaluate your season, evaluate the current meta, but then don't let yourself fall. It's such a slippery slope. You start drafting the guys you like, you start drafting the same teams over and over again. We say this every year, but like, get a brainworm to just be like, think a little bit deeper, get a next level deeper into it. And that's really all you can do. Like, there's so much that we're not going to be able to control for. So just try to be as mindful as you can. And that's my take.
Yeah. And we do not need to live in a 0 RB world anymore. You can at least get one, at least do a hero and a modified hero where you're getting the Charbonnets, like the last year's archetype of the Charbonnets, the guys in the 80s, the 90s, the 100s, 70s, if they're pushed up this year. Like, just get guys who can get you points on a weekend. Like Ramondre would push you through. And like,
yeah,
the difference between like getting a Ramondre, the 2v2 of like a Ramondre, Charbonnet, Tyrone Tracy, Scatabo, like any of those running backs, I like pick 100, 110 who at least get points. The 2v2 of that versus like the morass of worthless players like the Jaden Blues and like all those guys who literally do nothing. I mean, literally zero, avoid zeros. And like, how can I avoid zeros? And, you know, if I do like a hero running back thing, it's like, well, let me give myself a bunch of guys who at least get some points. They might not be starters. They might not be sick, but they're at least getting me some points. They're advancing me. And then like, I'll have my like one Taj Brooks at the end or a Kamani Vidal or, you know, like your whatever crazy,
of course,
round 18 bet at the end, but don't have 4 round 18 ass clicks on your team, which I had a lot of last year. So note to self.
Alec Pierce.
Dog.
Absolute dog. He's going to get a bag. Do you, any with your sus crystal ball, do you have any landing spots for him that you think, you know, you could foresee it in his future? Where do you think he'll be going irregardless? Like, if he's obviously he's going to go to a team, he's probably going to like maybe a bad team that's going to throw him a bit of a bag. Like, how do you feel about him in general?
My gut on him today, and I think a lot of free agents are going to change teams this year, but my gut on him is he stays, because, you know, he probably never thought he could have been in a position to make like 20 million plus a year. And he might think like, all right, if I go somewhere else, maybe I don't get utilized the right way. Maybe I'm not as beloved. Like, stuff can go wrong. Like, you could be Gabe Davis on the Bills and like a good setup, but you're like, I'm going to get a little bit more and go to Jacksonville. And then you're like cooked. And I think Alec Pierce is better than Gabe Davis, but you can change teams and shit can get weird.
Sure.
And I think they probably work something out where he takes like a hair less to stay, because I don't think they're too deep in a cap bag. Like, they're not really paying a quarterback, I guess. So I think my read from some of the beats is that he's going to come back. Maybe someone blows him away with like stupid money. Like, but I mean, if he goes to the Saints, I'll have like 40%.
Dude, if you went to the Saints, I would literally have 35% easily. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a perfect fit. All right, Sus. Well, I want to thank you for hopping on with me on a beautiful Wednesday night for, you know, our very first of, hopefully, you know, we can do this, you know, more moving forward, but unspiced. Okay. Just plain white bread, no spice, 0 spice, not even salt, as you can see up in the top left corner, not even salt, not even pepper, nothing. No. And unfiltered. We will never be afraid to share our takes, whether it's in best ball or, you know, any realm. Any closing thoughts for us here tonight before we run the outro?
I'm trying to come up with a unseasoned, unspiced take to send the people off with. Terrence Ferguson will be a top 15 tight end next season.
You absolutely love to hear it. Everyone, last plug before we get out of here. Go join that Discord. Use that QR code up above, or I will post the link in the comments after. But yeah, it's going to get real. One place where it will get spicy is in the Discord. We will be having
yeah.
great conversations. Best ball dynasty startup season is here. We're gonna have some of your favorite content creators in there doing some Q&As, doing some other fun stuff, and we'll talk some other stuff too. But you definitely want to be in there. Go join
and drop a like, guys. Comment, like, show love to Bindles, man. Great host. He's going hard all 2026. Show love. I'm sure you guys have liked it by now, but last call for a like. Shout out Bindles, man. Appreciate you having me on. Looking forward to a great year.
Of course. Looking forward to our first quad box of the season. Will be fun. And hope you guys have a great night. Adios.
Peace.